Alright, for this episode, I really want to dive into the websites because websites is probably one place where we get quite a lot of information from the candidates. So this is Joe Biden's website. This is going to be a Joe Biden versus Andrew Yang. Who's got the better website? So Joe is like, our best days still lie ahead, and that's his slogan, I guess. And then he's got a picture of him, blends really nice, like he's wearing a white shirt, blends right into the background, very nice and subtle, and quite, in a way, it's quite a lovely design, quite like a minimalist, everything kind of blends in quite well, and support Joe, that's quite well highlighted. Okay, now let's look at Andrew Yang. Alright, so one of the big differences is Andrew Yang hasn't just chosen to just have a picture of himself. He's actually chosen to have a picture of the people, which is quite a nice touch. Like this is an election about the people. Andrew Yang is not going, this is me, you're voting for me, you're voting for my personality. No, he's like, I've got policies, and if you vote me, you're actually voting my policies. So that makes a lot of sense. And again, I love the design. Like everything just blends in so nicely, so well. Between Andrew Yang and Joe Biden, who do you think has the better website? I'm going to have to give it to Yang because I'm a bit more favorite of this really nice blue. Like that is a real nice effect. And then it has this real nice focus on those titles. And it gives it an option to donate at the top. It's not putting it in your face. It's got relatively very similar links like store, volunteer. Joe Biden has the join the team of the volunteer. Has the store as well. And then you have Joe's story, Joe's vision. What do we have for Andrew Yang? We have Andrew Yang's story. So just one link, whereas Joe has two. Like, why does he need two? Can't it just fit under one? And then we have what most candidates probably won't have. What is UBI? So this is going to be part of the policy. This is probably around the education. You need to teach the American public what UBI is. So and that's a good one, That's one of the main policies. And it's probably good to make that kind of link so people can just get straight to being educated. And in one link, policies, that's a favorite of a lot of people, right? Like you want to know your candidate has policies. But the one thing we were not going to notice in a lot of these is there is no policies. So we've got Joe's vision and Joe's story, and we've got events, we've got store, join a team. Joe, where's the policy link? I can't find it. Do you have one? So, I think there is a part in Joe's vision. So as much as something that gets to policy, he doesn't call it a policy, he calls it a vision. So, his focus is trying to address the middle class because he wants a middle class, which is where the numbers are to vote for him. So he does have some stuff on the bottom here, but it's usually the more basic stuff, like say getting minimum wage to $15, and stuff like that. Guaranteeing every American the skills and education they need to get ahead. So in a sense, there is another link. So read the full plan, and it's got a video too. Yeah, so in a sense, I would call those close to policies, but they're not entirely set out. Not like Andrew Yang. Like again, these put statistics. When we click on Andrew Yang's policies, I love how he's just detailed Andrew Yang's 3 big policies. So it's universal basic income, Medicare for all, and a human-centered capitalism. Alright, so let's look at this, the biggest policy, and it details how it works. So usually you want to know how something works. And then, $1,000 a month, $12,000 a year, straightforward math. If you didn't get the math, we'll have to redirect you to the education page. And then the universal basic income at this level would grow the economy by 12 to 56 to 13.1%. What about $2.5 trillion? So yeah, like I like those numbers. There is, yeah, like it's a good way to explain it, nice and short. And if you want more info, just scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and you've got the goals. So like I love how detailed it is. You're getting quite a lot, and in he's got the evidence and the backing and all that. And Joe kind of does that as well. But it's not as concrete, even though he talks a lot about these problems and how you might address it. So the thing is, it's not saying Joe doesn't have policies. He's just not very specific on how he's going to address these issues. Like not in a specific way. Like I mean, it's kind of like he's telling you how he might do it and how that might help, but it's not a concrete one. It's not like here's the step 1, step 2, step 3 plan. But it's not bad. I can't fault him on it. In a way, they're a little short, like kind of like this, a little bit short. Here, like I like this one because it's quite well detailed. Read the full plan, and then he's got quite a bit more. Like I'd say he's got one that's really well detailed, and then the rest are not as well detailed. Okay, maybe this one too. Like I think he's done speeches, so he wants to talk about it a bit more, show what he's done. So like it does have quite a good substance to it, but these aren't the same issues, I guess. Like this Andrew Yang addresses these issues plus more. So it is like 2, 4, 6, 8 things, 8 categories where he addresses. But prepare to be surprised, like Andrew Yang has all of these. Like even one column here is equivalent to more than what Joe has. And so I'm probably a bit more fan of like Andrew Yang's kind of policies. He was like so well detailed. You could find everything you want to be you want answered, right? Whereas Joe kind of like, or Biden, if you prefer Biden, like I guess it's like we usually know candidates by their last names, like Biden and Yang. So like I find he kind of covers a broad kind of subject, so that's the thing. He's covering a lot of topics in one slot, whereas Andrew Yang actually splits them apart and tells you how he's going to address that. So I do like that a bit better. And join the fight, so you can fill your email and your zip code and write I'm in. Alright, so we can probably agree, like at least I agree anyway, like that I think Andrew Yang has the more comprehensive policies. Like Joe's, it's like Biden's not too bad. Like I think it definitely gives enough information to know what his vision is. So that's why he's called it his vision. Like, but the problem with visions are if you don't make actual steps to achieve them, they might not happen. So that's the thing. And you can learn a bit more about Joe, where he began, and all this. So I think it's quite nice. It's a nice touch. Like you want to know where the candidate came from, like what things mean to them. So it's a nice touch. I think it's one of the most important aspects, like who the candidate is, what their background is, and what they believe in, and in their policies. So like apart from that, I think those are the two main areas. So Biden also has events, and I think they'll be very similar. Like apart from like New York, it's like Iowa, New Hampshire, Iowa, New Hampshire, Iowa. So you're kind of seeing a pattern where he's focusing his time, and you'll find that Andrew Yang is actually doing the same thing. Except I don't think Andrew Yang has an event page. Like, I think he does have an event like calendar, but that might be on Instagram and Twitter. I don't see where the event page is. So to the Yang Gang, probably tell Andrew Yang he needs an event page, like right somewhere here. Like, I think that's very important, because if you're a supporter or you want to be a supporter and you go, oh, actually he's speaking here, I'm going to go listen to him speak. And that might have a limitation for Andrew Yang if his supporters or potential supporters do not know where to find him if he does speak in person. So I'd say definitely add an event tab. So I'd say they're pretty even on stories. I'd give the policy part to Yang. I'd say Biden gets the event part because he's informing people in a better way on that. So volunteer, like that's it splits it quite clear. You can do things from home, you can do things elsewhere. And then he appreciates the time, and it's even your time's a donation. So not only is money a donation, time's also a donation, and he appreciates it. And then we have to go, what does Biden volunteers get? Or how does he consider that his team? So for Biden, it's quite broad. It's just like fill in the name and then we'll catch up with you one day. Or we'll give you the updates and like you'll just join in somehow. He does have the Spanish language, so like that's one thing about Biden's website. It does have the Spanish tab, whereas Andrew Yang's just the English tab. I'm not going to say that's going to hold a candidate back. But if you do have like a lot of say like Mexicans who have come to the US, got their citizenship, they're over 18, they're responsible adults who want to vote. But they don't quite understand as much English, so in a way, be able to access this like the Spanish part, it's not too bad. I don't understand Spanish, so I can't actually tell you how good it is, but it looks very similar to what we saw in the English part, and it's quite nice to access more photos. And then you've got the social media part. Let's see. Where is Andrew Yang's social media? I like this touch where he's put his interviews here, so you can click on it, watch more. Whereas like Biden's interviews aren't as clear as day. You kind of have to go a bit more into it. And there are those videos on the vision parts. And then he does have the donation button. Like he's not asking for like a lot of money. Like he goes from 35 to 250. Biden goes from $5 to $500. So there's a bit of a difference in spectrum. I don't know if that's necessarily, it's going to make a difference in terms of what people want to donate. So it's an interesting part. And let's look at their store. So like, this is the store, like the merchandise. Like, I think coloring is quite nice. I would like to see a bit more on like his speeches, quotes. Like, I would love a t-shirt that said, it's not left, it's not right, it's forward. So I think they're missing that kind of t-shirt. So they just have the math hat, the math badges, humanity first. Oh wait, I was wrong. Actually, there is one of these t-shirts, so I might get one actually. It might be worth it. Yeah, no, that's. I think no. I probably need to explore the store more, like see what kind of merchandise is there. But let's not forget Joe's store. Oh right, oh it's a bit colourful. So show some pride. So I think you can kind of guess where Joe's trying to get a bit more support as well. But sorry, Joe, I think um, that support you're trying to get, I think it's with Pete Buttigieg. But I guess you can never try too hard. So it's a nice effort too, like nice and colourful, and it not it's yeah. I think like not too bad. Would you wear this? Like I think if I wore it and then someone would be like, oh right, so are you part of that? And I'm like, maybe. So it's like, so you guys play for the same team, do you? And I do like I do like how like Andrew Yang stuff is a bit more general, so there's no misconceptions, like you can wear what you like, and it's it's for everyone. Whereas this stuff, well, I think he does have more stuff, so like, I'm not saying, like there is this. There's not much like quotes. That's the one. There's not quotes. They're just like words like pride, love each other, Biden. I'd love to see a bit more. Like, yeah, I don't think it seems to be a candidate thing where people just do merchandise with their name on it. And I mean, it should be something that you can wear. Like, it shouldn't just be like, hey, I'm just wearing because I'm supporting like this certain candidate. Like, it should have quotes. Like, I'm definitely the biggest fan of this, compared to the other merchandise. But yeah, alright, so let's not get too like into the merchandise. Like, yeah, you can clearly see shopping is quite fun. But yeah, I do encourage you to look at both the candidates' websites, and do comment below who has the better website. And I noticed like I've actually gone on for quite a while. I thank you for the time and especially the support. I've seen the views on the videos and they're really racking up. So I'm like thinking, oh, actually, people really love to follow Yang. Um, I'm very happy to continue producing more content like this. So like and subscribe lets me know that you enjoy it and I should continue making more. Um, Regarding whose website I would say was the winner, like I don't want to be biased, so as you heard at the start, like I did compare the two like pages, like in terms of the look, the links that they have, and as much as like Biden does some things right, I'm gonna have to give it to Yang. I think his one's quite informative. I think him as a candidate, it's got a lot more information. I would like to see an event link. But apart from that, it's quite a nice website. It gives you everything that you need to know on Yang. And for Biden, yeah, like I would say definitely the event tabs stands out compared to Yang's. But apart from that, I'd say it's very, you've got the standard parts about a candidate's website, their story, join as a volunteer, and a store. The Spanish part's quite a nice touch as well because you're engaging more voters if you are to speak their language. Who knows? Next debate, Joe might put up some Spanish. Wouldn't that be interesting? Yeah, so apart from that, I think it's a really nice design website. They both have pretty well designed websites, so pat on the back to the designers. They're the heroes that don't get credited. And yeah, apart from that, I mean, it's very similar stuff. Um, like Yang is a bit more unique because he has policies, which Joe doesn't. So that's where the difference is. Like Joe, you get his vision. Andrew Yang, you get his policies. But overall, I love how detailed this is. I think this is quite well detailed. It's pretty good effort too. But I think this gives you what the candidate offers. Currently there is no policies. Well, not exact policies, as you go to the vision part and then read a bit more. But yeah, I think I'm satisfied to say I've been through enough to say that both websites are really well made, but I'd say I prefer Andrew Yang's. Alright, so stay tuned. I'm probably going to compare other candidate websites too. It's quite an interesting aspect. Get to learn about the candidates. And until then, I'll see you later.